Okay.
That's the time after she interviewed you and asked all the questions. It can go 45, anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. Just
Okay,
to give you
guys, we are live. Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to House in the Cars, Home Ownership Changed My Life. My name is Stephanie Milburn. I am the campaign manager for House in the Car. Today, we have some special guests with us to talk about how home ownership has changed their lives. So we have a special realtors guest with us that I would like to introduce, and we have President Darlene Meekins. So I want you to go ahead and just introduce yourself to the audience, Darlene.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I am the local board president in the Philadelphia area. Our organization is the Philadelphia Metropolitan Board of Realtists. And we all know why we call ourselves realtists, because back in 1947, when NAREB first formed, they would not allow Blacks to be realtors. And so we coined the name realtist. And now that you know, when you're searching for your home needs, check for a realtist.
Yes, awesome. Thank you for sharing that information. And if you are looking for a realtist in the Philadelphia area, please reach out to the president of the local board, that is Darlene Meekins. And we'll share the contact information with you guys a little later on as well. So we have our millennial guest, and we have Ariel Julian, and I'm gonna let her tell her story as well as tell everybody what your age and what city you're from.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm 28. I'm from Philadelphia. Born and raised. I became a homeowner in 2016. I bought a house in my city. Yeah, that's it.
So I'll tell you a little more about Ariel.
So how old?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, so you're 28 now, and so you bought the house when you 4 years ago. So tell everybody what age you were when you purchased, because that's a big deal.
I was 24.
Yeah, she was 24 years old when she purchased her first property. So that's very young. I was also 24 years old when I purchased my first house. So congratulations to you. And I know that you have a unique story. So I'm going to turn it over to Darlene to kind of guide us through that.
So yes, Ariel actually went to high school with my daughter, and we had a little bit of a challenge to find her a home. But when we talked, I said to her, we're going to find you a home. I think we probably looked at about 20 homes, right?
Yeah.
Searching to find one. We had a few obstacles, but we overcame those, and we eventually found her home for $68,000, right? It was a 4-bedroom,
Wow.
3-bath. So as far as the square footage of that, we really lucked out.
Yes.
And Ariel, although she's soft-spoken, is really a entrepreneurial. She's enterprising. And with that first home, she had rental guests. So she rented some rooms to help supplement her income. Do you want to talk about that, or you want me to continue on about your story, Ariel?
Well, I can talk a little on the rental. Yeah, I did rent rooms to, like, young single people, mostly all females, just because there were so many rooms in the house and so many bathrooms, it made sense. So that was very helpful at first, to covering the expenses of the house. And then after I did that, because the basement of the house was finished, I was able to use it as an Airbnb space, which was even more.
You skipped a little part there. So I think, was it a year or so into her purchase that there was a fire next door?
Yeah, I always forget that. Yeah,
I don't know how you could forget.
My house, yes. So in early 2018, so about a year and some change, my house caught on fire through no fault of my own. The house next door to it caught on fire. And that year was just a lot going on, but it got fully renovated because I was fully insured. So it covered all the renovations and even, added a lot of different things I didn't have, like a full HVAC system, If it finished the basement, we were able to redo the bathrooms, the kitchen. So that was just a huge blessing. And then I was able to do Airbnb, which, like I said, was even more lucrative than just renting rooms. So I would say it's just having the house give me a lot of leverage financially, because the renting was always an option, if I was short on cash.
Yeah.
Are you
And
still renting rooms?
No.
she does Airbnb now.
Now I do Airbnb in the
Okay, so
in the
you're just
basement.
doing Airbnb, and that's strictly for the basement property,
Yes, because the basement does
or is
have a
it for?
finished full bathroom. So I live upstairs with my family, and then I'm able to Airbnb the basement, which, like I said, it's good money. It's good.
Yeah. Not only that, I
Absolutely.
remember
So
when she had,
Darlene, how?
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I said, not
No,
only
go
that,
ahead.
I remember when she had the fire, she called me. She said, Miss Darlene, we had a fire and thank you so much. You got me really good insurance. You remember that, Ariel?
I do, because the first thing of course, the insurance gets contacted, and they just reassured me immediately that, okay, this is going to be covered. We're going to take care of it. We're going to take care of the cleanup, the restoration, everything. So I was just like, it was a huge relief. It's like, imagine not being covered and you have a fire, or not having enough coverage.
Yes. And
Yeah.
also through her challenges, she's had a little one.
Yes.
So
And he's who I keep looking at. Yeah, the same year that the house caught on fire, I had a baby. I had my
A
first
lot of
child.
blessings all around.
yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, well, it definitely sounds like a lot of blessings all around. So, what type of, advice would you give to someone who is thinking about purchasing a home? Are you more entrepreneurial minded, or are you just like telling them, hey, you know what, just get out there and buy a house? So what type of advice are you giving to some of your friends or family members who are interested in purchasing a home?
Well, of course, I think it really depends on what your purpose and what your motive is for buying. That's really going to influence where you buy, what kind of property you buy, how much you want to spend, how big a loan you want to take out. You have to think about why you want to own a home, the whys. So I know I was going in thinking about investment property. So that meant I was looking at very specific areas. I was looking at very specific kinds of houses. Like initially I wanted a duplex, but I changed that. I changed my mind from that. But it's, definitely anything is possible. I would tell them, you just have to kind of be confident, go into it, just believing that you're gonna, get what you want. You're not gonna settle. You're gonna like keep to your standard, and and just know your why. I would say don't go into it blindly, just thinking, oh, I'm just gonna have a house, because then you might find that it's not good for your situation, 2 years down the line or 5 years down the line, because especially when you're young like this, life comes at you fast, fire, babies, anything can happen. So just make sure that you have a specific purpose for why you're buying, so that you do get the property that's going to fit that specific purpose. That would be my number one advice.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, understanding the why is definitely important. And we have learned that a lot of millennials are seeking investment properties as, their first home purchase. So that is a good way to think as well. And I know that it has really changed your life. So can you just tell us ownership changed your life?
Oh, well, like I said, at first it was all about the financial leverage. That was the number one thing, is that I wasn't dealing with landlords and all the headache that comes with landlords. And, I was really happy for the freedom, but I think I had one of my rooms rented out before I even fully moved in. Like before I had even gotten my furniture in, I had somebody come and say they want the room. So I immediately just filled up all the rooms, and I took the tiniest little closet room and, was making money just off the top. So that right there, like I said, just having the extra cash in my pocket and most of my expenses, all of my house expenses paid for, was a huge thing while I was still working. And it has its challenges. Nothing comes easy. I know my partner used to always remind me, it's like having a job. You're going to be managing, you're going to be property managing, you're going to be managing the tenants. It's work, but it's definitely worth it. And then it changed my life just having that stability. When I did start a family, I really I don't have to worry about getting kicked out. I don't have to worry about moving here or there or everywhere. I have a place to be with my family regardless of what happens, and it's mine. And then you have something that you can pass down to the next generation. If you don't sell or you decide that you want to keep it, you have something you can give to your children. So just having that peace of mind, knowing that you're starting a family and you actually have something, whether it's the actual value, the equity of the house, or just the house itself, you have some kind of security. So just having that peace of mind, I think, changes the way I've thought about a lot of things.
And Ariel, recently you
Absolutely.
called me up and you said, you sent me something. You sent me a listing of what a house sold for up the street from you. So tell them how your house has appreciated.
So again, I bought with the idea in mind that this would be an investment, and I definitely wanted to make sure that the property I bought had resale value. So you can do that by either buying and planning to make a lot of renovations, or buying in an area that is appreciating. And right now in Philly, there's a lot of that going on. I think it has gotten more expensive overall, but you can still find pockets where you're going to find places that are going to become more expensive. So that's what I initially thought. I didn't plan on renovating. I bought with the intention that the overall property value of the area would go up. And that is what happened. And it got renovated through no planning of my own. So it was just like a double blessing.
That's good.
So recently the houses in my area, their prices have just been going up and up. And I never planned to live there, but more and more I'm seeing like who's moving in. I mean, the area is being heavily gentrified. So I bought the house for $68,000. And right now the houses are being sold for like between $250,000 and $300,000. And that's just in 4 years.
Wow.
So when I talk about equity,
Wow, that is amazing.
Right. If I do sell, it's like, if I want to invest in another property, if I just want to, save, whatever the case, if I just want to sit on it, it just gives you a lot of options, and you don't have to worry about where you're going to live next necessarily.
Exciting, right?
Absolutely.
She's done well.
Absolutely. So that's very exciting. This story is very riveting. I'm just like, oh my God, like what else is going on in Philly? So, for those of you who don't know, when President Donnell Williams launched House in the Car last year, one of our first stops was in Philadelphia, and President Darlene Meekins had an awesome, home buyer extravaganza, and we were there, and it was amazing. So how many people did you have? About 200 people at your home buyer extravaganza?
Yeah, 235 people.
Yeah, so that's amazing. And so
and excited. I'll go ahead and let you finish, Miss Stephanie. I'm sorry.
Yes, no, everybody was fully engaged and excited. It was an exciting time. It was very exciting for us to launch House in the Car and to, visit you guys in Philadelphia. And we see a lot of potential going on out there. Miss Julian, your story is amazing. So if there are other millennials in the area who are thinking about purchasing investment properties, you heard it here first. She purchased at $68,000. That home is now worth over $300,000. And, she's already thinking about what she wants to do next for her investment. So there's a lot of money out there for you guys, not only just the security of having your own home, but you have the opportunity to build wealth through purchasing this home as well. So I love your story. I love that you guys are here with us today. Thank you for sharing. I know, Ariel, you said you didn't have a whole lot of time today, but we appreciate you taking time out of your day to share your story with us. Darlene, do you have any other millennials right now that you're working with that are on the same path?
Well, actually, I have one that was just on the cusp. I think she's maybe a year over, but she is the daughter of one of my members. She's a lawyer. She has been renting, and her mom had been talking to her, but children don't always listen to their mothers. They think somehow that their information is antiquated, perhaps. So I spoke with her daughter, and she wasn't sure she would qualify. But I'm like, you're already paying for a mortgage. And I have some, and I asked her mother if it would be all right if I recommended some loan officers to her, which I did. And she called me back. She was so excited. And her mother took her out and she said, I found 4 that I'm interested in. I said, you have 4? Wow. There's another millennial that I worked with. She was part of the NACA program, and NACA is national. And they, it's kind of like a CDC combined with a mortgage person. And so with that particular millennial, I had told her about the program probably 3 years ago. And I had her on an automated listing, but we had some challenges initially when I worked with her. One of the mortgage officers had lost her paperwork, and she was real strict and private about all of her stuff. So I thought I had lost her. She rented, but a year or so later, I reached out to her, and she was so happy I did. And she said, "Oh, you know, you're my agent. The person I talk to, they're nothing like you. They don't have the understanding and the knowledge that you give me." She was interested in purchasing her father's home, her stepfather's home. And he was saying he would give it to her for what he owed on it. And this is in a university area near the University of Penn. I was like, girl, you got to get this house. I mean, probably the cheapest way you can get it is to take over the payments. I wouldn't get anything out of that, but it's more important for you to be a homeowner. So we worked through all of that, and she ended up not purchasing that home, but purchasing a different home. And when the dust settled and everything was said and done, her mortgage payment was like $100 less than what she was paying in rent. So that's another exciting story, and she was thrilled. So I'm telling you,
sounds like we'll be hearing from her on Homeownership Changed My Life again. So we would definitely like to have her on the show. So I thank you guys for sharing your stories. We love to hear more from you guys. Darlene, Ariel, congratulations on being a homeowner, enterprising, and entrepreneurship, all of those things.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your family. So it sounds like you're receiving blessings all around. Guys, be safe out there. We know it's still a pandemic going on, so please be safe, but we definitely appreciate you guys for sharing your stories. Darlene, hopefully we'll get to come back and hang out with you guys in Philadelphia very soon.
Yes, thank you so much for having us
All right.
on.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. So we'll be back again at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, guys, for our Super Series Tuesday. So please tune in. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye. Everybody stay safe.
Bye-bye.